Hi, I'm Johanna Hinman. I teach in the prevention science track of the EMPH program, and my course is research design and grant preparation.
Hi, I'm Lisa Carlson. I also teach in prevention science. I teach Intro to Qualitative Methods. In my day job, I work in the School of Medicine at Emory as the Executive Administrator for Research Programs and Operations.
And in my day job, I'm the Director of Education and Global Surgery for the Department of Surgery in Emory's School of Medicine. So we're both all Emory all the time.
Johanna, can you describe a little bit about what your course is like in terms of student interaction and format?
Sure. So my course starts out in the on-campus opening session. We do a lot of group work to get started thinking about questions of research design and how you might build a research agenda. And then that feeds into the first several weeks of discussion boards where I have posted questions to sort of guide the discussion and get students really thinking about how it is that you design a research study to answer a particular question you have in mind. Once we get into more of the grant writing and grant preparation part of the course, the discussion boards fall off just a little bit because people are pretty intensely working on their writing. But then at the end of the semester, we bring it all together by turning the tables. The students get a chance to act as grant reviewers in that case, and they do a presentation of their review process and whether or not they would give funding to a proposal that they're reviewing.
It's an important skill.
It is. How about you? What is your class like?
So we get together at the on-campus and we start by learning a little bit about observation, how to really truly observe something, which is different than just seeing something. We take that out into the real world and try our observation skills. And then we do a whole series of assignments that are built around an interviewing process. So building a good qualitative interview guide, doing some in-depth interviewing, and then a reflection paper to sort of think about what that process was like and what we learned during that process. There is a chance to transcribe just once, which is, just once. And then at the end, we bring it all together with sort of revisiting some of the things we do at the opening on-campus session and also do a short analysis workshop. The course is really an intro to methods and doesn't really have enough space to get into analysis. That's a separate course. But we do a quick sort of introduction to this is what it would be like to see if you want to go on and take that other course or maybe even do a qualitative thesis.
Okay. What do you enjoy teaching? What do you enjoy about teaching in this distance-based format?
It's interesting. I've been teaching in the distance-based format for a long time, but I taught in the classroom beforehand. And really for me, it was more what I was worried about that didn't happen. So when I taught in the classroom, I really liked that energy that you get and the feedback back and forth from students that you get. And I was worried in an online environment that you wouldn't have that. And that's really not the case. I think that when we have that first opening on campus together, I sort of get a sense of students and hear their voices. And so when we move online, I feel like we have that togetherness really well, and it just coalesces perfectly at the end of the semester. So I really like that. I feel like that feedback loop stays there, and it stays sort of a strong thing. And in some ways, the asynchronous nature of it even helps that, because both the students and I get a chance to think about things a little bit, which you don't always get to do in the classroom. And then you get to give maybe a more in-depth answer to something. How about you?
One of the things I really appreciate particularly about the EMPH program is that all of our students are mid-career, whether they're making a change to move into public health from another career field, or they're just looking to gain more skills and more background in an area that they're already working. But I really appreciate having students who have a background and experience that they bring with them into the class discussions. A lot of my students have never worked on a research study before, but some of them have and do that every day in their day job, and they really bring a richness to that conversation. Similarly, when we're working on grant preparation, some of my students have never had to do that before. Others have worked on grant preparation teams before, but in their own specific area, and so they bring that perspective with them as well. And then that just helps everyone, I think, get to the end of the course and think about, if I were going to be a grant reviewer, what would I be looking for? And what might I have the opportunity to do in my job when I go back?
That's awesome. What other ways do you interact with the EMPH students?
Mostly I have participated as a committee member on several several EMPH student thesis projects, and I've chaired a couple as well. Now that there is an opportunity in the PRS track to do a grant proposal as a thesis, I've been engaged in a lot of discussions about that and several committees. And that's a really interesting way to take some of the things I've done in the classroom and move them into a new stage.
I've also worked with some students on their thesis committees and chaired a few thesis committees, and also gotten the chance to be a grant reviewer on a couple of those projects, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Is there anything else unique about your teaching experience or about the EMPH program that you want to share?
I suspect we agree about this, which is that we've both been teaching in EMPH a long time and we love it. So come join us.
Absolutely. Come join us.